Hello, Oracles. Stop blaming Elon. I understand it is very easy to blame someone for what is going on with the stock price for Tesla. I get it. Elon says some things on Twitter, Elon makes some comments, Elon buys Twitter, lots of different things that he does that could and are affecting the stock price movements. But you have to remember, if it wasn't for Elon, we wouldn't even have this opportunity to buy Tesla stock. We wouldn't have a stock that has gone up 875% over the last 5 years. We would not have an opportunity to be invested in a company that is going to be growing exponentially at this rate for the foreseeable future. Elon has taken this company and brought it to a place where most other automotive makers just wish that they could be at. Some of the highest margins the industry has ever seen, growing at a rate that no company else in the industry has grown at. We are growing so fast and moving into areas that we haven't even started tapping into yet, like energy. FSD and robotaxis haven't been solved yet, and when those get solved, they're going to take off even faster. Then we've got Optimus down the road. If it wasn't for Elon and his team that he has built, we would not be heading in that direction. So when you are going to start blaming Elon for a daily movement of a stock, you've got to take a step back and realize that we wouldn't have that daily movement if it wasn't for Elon to get us to that point where we'd be afraid to have the stock moving downward like it is. So Elon is the main reason why we are at where we are at today with the stock price and the company. And we can definitely say that if it wasn't for Elon, we wouldn't be having the world transitioning to EVs and renewable energy as fast as we are. And we can say that if it wasn't for Elon, we wouldn't have SpaceX, which is taking our astronauts to space instead of the Russians and saving us hundreds of millions of dollars. And I am confident in saying that in the future, we will say if it wasn't for Elon, our free speech would not be the same as it is. So this is where I am looking at for the future. So for all of you who are out there, and I've seen a lot of Tesla bears and a lot of Tesla Q that are coming out and saying, Elon did it again. Look, he crashed the stock some more because we're down 5%. We're now below $200. But let's take a look at all of the other companies that are out there right now to compare them. We will compare the stock price performance for Tesla stock versus all of the FAANG stocks and the indices year to date. And so we will start with Tesla, and Tesla is down 50.72% year to date. Yeah, that's not great. We're down 50%. But again, we are in a bear market. This is what we are going to see in the trends with all of these other stocks that we're about to go through. We are in a bear market. This is what happens. If you go back to the housing recession, we had the exact same movements and reactions from the entire market altogether. So now we look at Apple. Apple is down 23.67% year to date. And we've got Google, and Google is down 38.97% year to date. We've got Netflix. Netflix is down more than Tesla at 56.71% year to date. We've got Meta. Meta is down 71.43% year to date. We've got Amazon down 46.87% year to date. And we've got the Nasdaq itself down 33.27% year to date. The S&P is down 20.63%. And the Dow is only down 10.27%. Now remember, when it comes to a bear market like we are in, growth stocks are usually the ones that get punished the most. So the S&P is going to reflect that significantly, and the Nasdaq obviously is going to because there's a lot of tech stocks that are in it. Now also remember that Tesla has a beta of 2.0. What that means is that Tesla normally moves twice as much as the broader market. So if we're going to be comparing it to the S&P being down 20.63% would mean that Tesla would be down about 41% based on their beta of 2. So yes, they are underperforming the S&P based upon that. When we start comparing it to the Nasdaq, Tesla is actually outperforming the Nasdaq based upon its beta. So overall, Tesla is not underperforming that much whatsoever. It's pretty comparable to the rest of the market and all of the FAANG stocks. So sure, maybe Tesla could perform better if Elon did not buy Twitter. If we didn't have all of this drama going on, we may not be performing as bad. Maybe we'd only be down 30-something%. We would still be down significantly because that's the kind of market we are in. This is not Elon's fault that we are down. This is the entire economy. Globally, we are down this much. This is what happens. And people who are wise investors and understand that this is what's going on are the ones who take advantage of these situations and they buy more. This is not financial advice. This is just historical fact. This is why we say that fortunes are born during bear markets. It is during these times where more millionaires are made than any other time. You start investing your money during these times. When we do come out of this, all of that money will be worth that much more. Think about the return on your investment. If you buy one share of a stock at $100, you've got one share, and when it gets to $200, you will have two shares. If that stock price came down by 50% and was only worth $50 and you still spent $100 on it, you would have two shares. But now, if that stock went to $200, you would now 4x your money versus 2x. This is why buying during these times is so important, because if you waited until a stock turned around and went back to those prices again, you would not make as much on your money. Now, sure, there is nothing to say that we cannot come down further. Again, we do have gaps down to 187 and a further gap down to 137. We have people calling the stock price coming down to $120 to $140. Could that happen? Sure, anything can happen. Ron Barron mentioned it himself, saying that these are the times right now where we're buying at a massive discount, but it can certainly come down further before it goes back up. It's totally possible. But for me, I don't know if it's going to do that. No one knows what the future is going to bring. So this is why I dollar cost average. And this is why historically dollar cost averaging is the best way to get the most bang out of your buck and build your wealth the most for the long term. This is what it's about: long-term trading. Anyone who is out there right now pointing fingers at Elon for bringing the stock price down is not a long-term investor. If you are a long-term investor and you say you are a long-term investor and you plan on holding the stock for 5 to 10 years, and you are also saying that it is Elon's fault that the stock price is coming down right now, and you're upset about that, that's on you. That is not on Elon. Elon is giving us a gift at the moment. Now, that is me saying that I have conviction long term that we will come out of this. I do have faith that we will. But if you feel that Elon's movement with Twitter here is going to cause Tesla stock to never rebound and never come back again, despite all of its fundamentals right now being as strong as they are, then that's your prerogative. You can certainly feel that way. And if you feel like that's what's going to happen and you feel better about selling your stock, do it. There's nothing that is going to stop you from doing that. You've done your own due diligence and research. Have at it. I personally do not feel that that is the right move to do. I personally am going to continue adding. I added $10 more today on top of my $25. I am building up a stockpile of cash as well. And if we do end up coming down further, I will deploy more of that cash in a heavier amount. This is just the way I am playing it. And the way I see it is, sure, I don't always like what Elon does. I don't think he's perfect. I think he makes many mistakes. He's human. We all make a lot of mistakes. He has also done some amazing things as well. So the way I look at it is he has given us more good than bad. He has made way more good decisions than he has made bad decisions. He wouldn't have 4 successful companies right now that are changing the world if it weren't for the good decisions that he has made. And every single time he made one of those decisions, people questioned him and they said, "Are you sure you know what you're doing? This isn't going to do well. This is going to fail. This is horrible." Lots of FUD, lots of questions, all of it, all through this disruption. This is what happens with disruption. And Elon right now is disrupting social media and how a lot of people hear all of the news. The people who are screaming the loudest against this are the ones who are most likely being disrupted the most. That is truly what it comes down to. And some of the FUD I have been hearing is about how Elon is now Republican and he's trying to push the Republican side of things. And I just want to get some clarity. This comes right from the horse's mouth. Elon, to be clear, my historical party affiliation has been independent, with an actual voting history of entirely Democrat until this year. And I'm open to the idea of voting Democrat again in the future. So everybody who's out there saying that Elon's a Democrat, Elon's right wing, he's not, he's independent. Let's get this story straight here. This is exactly what he is. And when it comes down to it, anybody who says that this is not true just doesn't believe Elon. If you don't believe Elon, hey, that's your prerogative as well. You can do whatever you want to do. You can believe whoever you want to believe. I personally trust Elon saying what he means. He has proven it with fact in the past. So here he is saying he's independent. And some other reactions to all of this on Twitter as well. We've got Scott Wayner coming out saying Elon can tweet whatever he wants, but more and more his public behavior is self-sabotaging and a punch in the gut to Tesla stock investors who have stuck with the company for a decade or more. I support Tesla in the long run, but people close to Elon need to stage an intervention. Now, my personal feeling on this is let's look at a boxer. If somebody is out there as a boxer, what is one of the things that they do to train? They get punched in the gut a lot. And it makes them a lot stronger and it makes them even better in their future fights. So, this to me is a great sign. This is the punches that we are taking into the gut right now are punches that many of those long term investors have taken in the past. All the FUD that has come out from it, Elon out there saying in 2018 that he was going to take the company private, all of these things just made all of those long term investors stronger. And anyone who decided to bow out at those times because they decided it wasn't for them, they were not growing any stronger because of it. And now people who were through those times in 2017, 2018, 2019, those people right now are laughing at this. This is nothing for most of you who have been through those times back then because it was so much harder back then because Tesla did not have the fundamentals that they do right now. Tesla's got so much money coming in, $3.3 billion in free cash flow that came in this past quarter. Back in 2018, they were just burning money like crazy. They were not profitable at all. These times right now are laughable to most people who are investors back during those times. And then we've got Watch Your Guru coming in here saying, just in, Twitter user growth hits record high in first week under Elon Musk. So when we're starting to look at, hey, let's point fingers and blame Elon for things, Twitter is actually doing well. Yes, perhaps the stock price came down today because advertisers have been pulling their money out. And there's a concern that Elon may have to sell some shares to be able to cover and be able to float Twitter along. That maybe is a possibility. I do not know. I don't know all the financials behind all of this. We do know that Elon is moving very quickly to update and change the platform to be able to monetize it and help people out as far as content creators go and bring in more advertisers from the outside. We shall see how that plays out. But seeing as how the user growth has hit a record high in the first week Elon has had it, tells me that there's a lot more people out there who are interested in coming to the platform than leaving the platform. And then on top of it, think about how this has performed for Tesla stock over the last couple of years. Twitter basically itself has been the advertising platform and PR team when it comes to Tesla. So the more people who come over to Twitter and the more free speech we end up having over there on Twitter, the more it's going to be beneficial for Tesla and the stock going forward. Yes, we have some difficult times to go through. Every time we go through something like this, it's going to be difficult. But as soon as we come through these times, we are going to have a much stronger platform, which is going to benefit everyone, including Tesla and the stock long term. And then we've got Gary Black coming in here chiming in saying, Tesla stock shareholders, keep the faith. Elon Musk will figure out how to fix Twitter. Meanwhile, Tesla fundamentals remain excellent, with the China price cut bringing in huge orders, US $7,500 EV tax credit about to become effective, and Cybertruck on deck. Meanwhile, Tesla stock cheapest since COVID peak. And Gary showing here the PE ratio at the time, 47.48 and 35 for next year. So again, looking at his chart here, we are at the same level as we were during the COVID peak. And then we've even got FUD coming in to hit up Gary Black. Thanks for admitting you are panicked about Tesla stock and that it's linked to how Musk borrowed from Tesla to fund a Twitter he is burning down, whose advertisers all left, and that we must ignore numbers and rely on faith. Gary responding, I'm certainly not panicked. Are you delusional? This is the kind of FUD that is out there right now. And Eva chiming in, who, by the way, Eva is going to be on our live stream for Ladies' Night tomorrow night. Eva saying, I have full faith in Elon and Tesla. Life isn't perfect, and if you truly believe in a company, its future, you stick with it in good and bad. The investors selling Tesla stock at the worst time don't deserve to be a part of this company. Personally, purchasing more Tesla shares with every dip. I am doing the same, Eva. Every time we come down, I add more, and I add more on a daily basis. And so when we're looking at the stock price itself, Tesla, yes, it was down 5%. It's under $200 today. It hit a 52-week low today. However, Tesla, out of all the other stocks that we mentioned earlier with the FAANG stocks, most of those hit 52-week lows already. Tesla just hit it today. So you can say that Tesla is outperforming in that manner as far as dropping further than all of the other stocks. And then one thing that I look at when it comes to long-term investing is who is going to be the most successful. The people who are going to be the most successful are the people who are looking at these times right now saying, I have prepared for this. I have money on the sidelines, I am going to be investing during these times because I know that these are the times where I'll be able to get the biggest return on my investment. I also don't know whether we are going to come down further, so I'm going to be wise about those investments and dollar cost average as what I see fit for myself. But I am not going to be selling during these times. I am going to be looking back historically and say, hey, when was the last time this happened? The last time this happened was during the financial crisis when the housing market crashed. What happened during those times? Many stocks came down 50% or more, and the people who added into the big stocks at those times, which were those FAANG stocks, ended up doing extremely well in the long term afterwards. I would like to do the same for my portfolio, so I will seek out those stocks that I feel are going to do very well long term and invest as much as I can in them now. The people who are going to be less successful are the ones who are fearing day-to-day stock price movements, the ones who are pointing fingers at certain people as to why a stock price is coming down. These are the people who are going to be selling after the stock has already come down 50% because they just can't take it anymore. These are the people who are trading emotionally on a daily basis. These are the people who are going to be unsuccessful in the long term because they're letting the short-term movements of a stock price scare them away. And these people who are selling are guaranteeing themselves a loss if they are in the red, because that is the only time you actually take a loss is when you sell, when the stock is down. People who wait long term will end up seeing that stock price go back up and go green again. That is in my opinion. And these people are also the same people who do not look at the fundamentals of a company, they are strictly looking at the stock price. They don't understand why the stock price is moving the way it is, so they get an emotional reaction. This is one of the reasons why I go over the charts here on this channel, because by going over the charts, we can get a better understanding as to why the stock is moving and not moving in the way that the fundamentals are. It is a macro related thing. Sometimes, yes, maybe it's because Elon said something or Elon did something that for the day brought the stock price down. Maybe because this year with Twitter, for 6 months, it is down lower than it could have been if he decided not to buy it. However, we don't know what the long term is going to be on this. This could end up being something that's even better for Tesla stock long term. Nobody knows that for sure in the future. You've got to make your own decisions based upon how you feel that is going to turn out. And you guys can let me know in the comments below how you feel this is going to change in the future. And so when we look at the charts today, the last 2 days, yes, we were red the last 2 days with quite a bit of volume coming in. We've got 98 million shares trading hands yesterday, and we've got 93 million shares trading hands today. We are at an RSI of 30.69. That is right at that level where we are oversold. For those of you who are newer to the channel, the RSI is the relative strength index. This shows the strength of a stock. Usually, if we get under 30, that means it is oversold. At that point here, there is usually some buying pressure that comes in to push the stock price higher. When we go over 70, that is usually overbought. Usually when that happens, we end up getting a sell-off to bring us back down. So currently at 30.69, we are pushing that oversold range. We can definitely come down further. As we have seen in October, we were down in that oversold range for a little while. So we can absolutely come down into this. Looking at the stock price itself, we thought we were going to be seeing an inverse head and shoulders pattern. That has broken. Now we are looking at a dead cat bounce and coming down further. Again, I don't know how much further down we are going to go. Maybe we bounce from here and come back up. Nobody knows for sure. But the stock price movement right now definitely does not reflect the fundamentals of the company. So don't forget, gaps will fill 9 out of 10 times. A gap is created when there is an opening on one day that is higher or lower than the closing of the previous day, and we do not fill that. So right over here, we have a gap that goes up to $262. So that day we ended up dropping down. So we closed at 262 on this day, and then we opened at $257 the following day, and we have not come back up to that. So that is a gap that we will most likely fill, which tells me that we are definitely going to be coming back up in the stock price. So as I said before, we do have gaps that go down to 188. So we've got this gap down here to 188, and there's a chance, seeing as where we're at, and I told you guys I would not mention it again until we dipped under $200. We're now under $200, so I'm mentioning it now, but we do have this gap down to 188. And now if we go back further, we do have another gap that goes down to 137. Again, I do not know how we are going to trade. I do not know if we are going to come down and fill these gaps. These are just things that I am showing you guys to give you a little bit of education to explain why stock movements are the way they are and they go against fundamentals. We are in a very bearish market right now, very uncertain times, rising interest rates, and high inflation. That does not bode well for the entire macro environment. That bodes well for a very compressed PE market. Right now, we are compressing our PE. We're down to 47, as Gary Blackhead showed us when it comes to the PE. So we are compressing much more than we ever have in the past. But when we come out of these times, that is where PE ratios can spring back up again. So if Tesla is going to continue growing at the rate that they are growing at, we can see a very strong springboard effect coming when this macro blanket lifts. I don't know how much that will be, and I don't know how quickly it will be, but I definitely see that it is going to be coming in the future. So for anybody who is out there blaming Elon for all of these daily stock price movements going on, you should be thankful, in my opinion, because he is giving us an opportunity to buy even more, because nothing that he is doing right now is changing the fundamentals of the company of Tesla whatsoever. That is it. If he sells some stock, guess what? That still does not change the fundamentals of the company. It just lowers the stock price because he sold some shares. That is it. You have to pay attention to the fundamentals of the company if you are going to be a long-term investor. Eventually, the stock price is going to catch up to where the fundamentals are. This is where we have seen the parabolic moves in the past. The stock will trade sideways because people don't fully grasp what is going on with the company. And then all of a sudden, everybody's like, oh, wow, Tesla is actually doing what we thought they were going to do. Stock price jumps way up. This has already happened twice. We are going through another one of those times right now where we are trading sideways, and there are a lot of things going on out there where Tesla is going to be solving FSD, but not many people believe that it's going to happen. A lot of people are saying, well, I'll believe it when I see it. We've got the Cybertruck coming out. A lot of people are saying, I'll believe it when I see it. We've got a compact car coming out in 2024, most likely. A lot of people are saying, I'll believe it when I see it. Well, guess what? Right now, there's a lot of people who are not investing in the company because we're A, in a bear market where equities are not doing well, and B, because there's a lot of stuff that Tesla needs to prove to them. Those of us who have conviction that they are going to prove it are going to get a very handsome return on our investment in the future when we get to that next parabolic move, where all of these things are now believed by all of these people because they can be seen. We will get the Cybertruck out next year. We will get a compact car, most likely in 2024. If not, it'll be coming out shortly thereafter. We will have FSD solved, and we will have robotaxis on the road. That is my opinion. I have conviction that we are going to get there, and that is my thoughts. And you guys can let me know in the comments below if you feel that we are going to be going in that direction also. So for many of you who are out there who I know are combating a lot of this FUD that is going on in the market, a lot of people placing blame on Elon, this is my feelings on it. Elon is not the one to blame. Elon is the one that has gotten us to where we are right now. Maybe he says some things here and there that move the stock price one way or another for the very short term, but long term, it is Elon that is going to take us to where we want to go. So I am not going to place blame on Elon. If you're going to place blame on Elon for anything, you also have to give him credit where credit is due because he is the one who got us to where we are. You can't blame someone for doing bad things, but not give them credit for doing good things. You've got to do both. And he has clearly done more good than bad. So you guys can let me know down in the comments below how you feel about that. Otherwise, just a reminder for tomorrow night, it is ladies' night. It is my birthday, and I am getting the best birthday present ever. I will be having on Alexandra Tesla Boomer Mama, I will have on Jen Strahan, and I will be having Eva McMillan all on here with me, Timmy's Angels, and we are going to be discussing Tesla, Elon, Twitter, and all sorts of other things on here tomorrow night, 7 p.m. Eastern Time. I look forward to seeing you guys all then. Thank you all so much for watching. I appreciate all of your support and feedback. If you have not subscribed, please do so down below. Sign yourself up for notifications. I am over on Twitter at OracleTim1. I share all the latest Tesla news, pertinent stock market information, and all of my daily trades. We do have a Discord chat. That link is down in the description. And if you'd like to support the channel any further, we do have a membership program and a Patreon. Those links are also in the description. Thank you so much. Have a great one.